My name is Adelle Onyango, and I'm a media personality here in Nairobi, Kenya. And we've just had a very powerful conversation around gender equality. And the conversation with some powerful panelists, Marie Gathoithi, Naomi Mora, and Sarah Cherono. We discussed key issues such as culture and how does culture either help or hold us back from the actualization of gender equality. Some of the things that came out under the discussion were culture means that we all need to introspect and think about our responsibility as individuals in progressing the fight towards gender equality. We also spoke about economy and coming from this pandemic. A lot of countries are looking at the economic recovery post-corona. And one of the key things there is that we have to center women in that recovery. One of the things that came out in this conversation, courtesy of the work that Naomi Mora does in the transport industry, is that once you uplift a woman economically, it not only benefits her, but her household and other households as well. And essentially the ecosystem that also has men in it. So there is a lot of positivity that comes from centering women in the economic recovery in different countries post-pandemic. And then we also looked at education, which I thought was very interesting because we looked at not only the education one gets in school and trying to see how do you introduce the issue of gender equality to young Africans from primary school age instead of waiting until they're much older to have such forums. But we also looked at the education around women's rights. And do women in Africa actually have the knowledge on how they can agitate for justice, be it in a sexual violence situation? So the conversation was very wholesome, and it ended on a note that yes, while we're moving towards the Africa and France Summit later this year and the Generation Equality Forum, one thing we will be looking at when all of these global leaders and policymakers come together is to ask for accountability before any new promises are made, accountability on previous promises, and really asking whether they've tracked activity in some of the things that they have promised to do in terms of women's rights and in terms of gender equality. And I think that it was a very key conversation to be had right before such big summits. So I'm very inspired to introspect and think about my role as an individual, but also to hold my leaders in Kenya and really global leaders accountable too.